What's going on? Fantasy fanatics, freaks, whatever you are. It's the Triple F podcast. Your host, Jay Sheeds, Daddy Lutz. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, fellas? How was your week 2? Hopefully you got some wins.
Let's get it.
Let's go, boys.
Starting off with some negatives. Boo. Who got injured?
Joe Burrow hurt his calf. Anthony Richardson hurt his head. Saquon has an ankle injury, and David Montgomery has a thigh bruise.
So those people need to get cleared before we are locking them in next week. We'll let you know on Wednesday how those guys are doing. Rolling into our studs and duds, Percy picks, quarterback pack rolling up. My man Josh Allen attacking the fucking Las Vegas Raiders. Easy money. If you played Josh, you had a good week. Daddy Lutz.
Kirk Cousins. I like Daddy Kirk.
Kirk Cousins rolling up. Big passes to Addison and Jefferson. I like that stud pick. Daddy Lutz. My best running back, Tony Pollard. What about you?
Bijan Robinson. He looked slippery against the Packers. Packers could not stop Bijan.
Rolling into wide receivers here. Who was your top wide receiver of the week?
Puka Nacua. 25 receptions in 2 weeks, 15 receptions in week 2, tying Jerry Rice's record.
Pick that man up.
Is a monster.
My guy, Nico Collins, Houston Texans, putting up big fantasy numbers this week. Get him on your team, guys. Next up, tight end position. T.J. Hawkinson. 2 tight ends this week. Get him on your fucking roster. Excuse my profanity, but that man, he's a bad man in that red zone. Daddy Lutz, who you got top tight end this week?
Jake Ferguson. Dak loves him. I love him. Red zone threat. Get him on your team. Easy 7 points.
Alrighty. Now let's give some people not what they want to hear, but some bad picks of the week. My guy, Trevor Lawrence, really terrible performance against Kansas City. 9 points scored offensively. Terrible performance. Hope they bounce back week 3. Who you got? Bad performance.
I got Justin Fields everywhere in fantasy, and it is not looking good for him. He had 4 rushing attempts for 3 yards. As a dual threat QB, that's not what we're looking for.
We need a good rushing QB.
Need an improvement there. My negative running back is also Josh Jacobs. He had negative rushing yards to finish the day and was an absolute disappointment.
My negative running back, Dalvin Cook.
Fumble. Ruski.
Nothing else to be said about that. Just the Jets. New York teams in general going through it right now. Let's speed things up here. Worst wide receivers of the week. Who you got?
Calvin Ridley. Thought he was going to turn back up from week 1, but
all right. Well, my guy,
Kirk took all those.
Pretty similar. Dotson, really nothing going for him. Same stat line, pretty quiet. Along with honorable mention for bad performance would be DeAndre Hopkins as well. You want to round things out with our favorite or least favorite, actually, tight end picks of the week.
Musgrave, he's getting a couple targets, but he's not doing much with them at all. Not liking Musgrave, and hopefully, Pitts isn't much to look up to either. But waiver wire, we got Kyron Williams. He absolutely dominated the backfield for the Rams, and Cam Akers was a healthy scratch.
No one really knows what's going on with Cam Akers, not even himself. So Kyron Williams, get him while you can. Another good running back to look for is Zach Moss, Indianapolis Colts running back, putting up big numbers. Probably won't happen every week, but with him healthy AR at the center snap, you think they could be a good 1-2 combination?
Jack Moss, he's got some possibilities for sure, as long as Jonathan Taylor's out.
We've seen him do big things on Buffalo. He's getting an opportunity here. All right, rounding out our waiver wire running backs, we got Gibbs from Detroit. If Montgomery is not doing too hot, look for Gibbs on your roster to put up big numbers in that position. You want to take us through our wide receivers, and then I'll finish up with a couple tight ends.
Puka Nacua, obviously talked about him earlier, so don't need to go on about that. Josh Reynolds will have workload increases as long as Jameson Williams is out. Same with Jaden Reed, as long as Christian Watson is out there at the Packers. And then somebody that even is a sneaky play for tonight, in my opinion, Calvin Austin for the Steelers. He will be assuming wide receiver number 2 duties with Deontay Johnson on the injury report.
All right, I'll finish things out here. Kyle Grandson on Indianapolis Colts. Get him if you need him. Really nothing else to be said about him. He's getting targets from AR. Looking pretty good here to start the year. All right, guys,
DK lineup?
Let's make some lineups here. You trying to win $1 million tonight, Daddy Lutz?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
All right, well, let's do it then. We got 4 teams, 2 games. We're going to be going through 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 1 defense. Kicking things off with that QB. Who you got, Daddy?
I got 2 options. One, go with Kenny Pickett, try to save some money, or you can go the expensive option, probably the most points, most touchdowns, Derek Carr.
I like that. At running back, you can look for mainly 3 backs, in my opinion. You got Nick Chubb, who's going to be doing the most, getting the most carries, probably the powerhouse back of the night. You got on the other side Najee Harris, who could be getting some goal line work. And then honorable mention tonight is Miles Sanders, running the rock, pound the rock out there in Carolina. Yeah, those 3 I'd say are your main guys to pick from tonight for running back. And let's get some wide receivers in the mix.
Wide receivers, as I said, Deontay Johnson's out, so
Calvin Austin
in that lineup at $3,900. And
I think Pickens also.
Pickens as well. He'll be taking wide receiver number 1 duties over with Deontay out, so increased workload there as well.
I like that. All right. A couple New Orleans Saints guys you could pick from. Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, always talented. Wide receivers, you want them on a small slate like tonight. So make sure you get them in your roster builds. Rounding things out here, tight ends and defenses. Who you got for tight ends?
Tight end, 2 options. Juwan Johnson or who's that other man out there?
Pat Freiermuth?
Yeah, I guess you can go with some move.
I like Hayden Hurst a little bit too. We'll leave it at that. Pretty easy at tight end. A couple defenses to look out for. Obviously, you got a rookie quarterback on the Panthers, so it's a good spot for the Saints. Possible interceptions there, sacks there. And then, Pittsburgh Browns could stay competitive in a defensive battle. I don't mind going either one of those either. Other than that, guys, it's been the Triple F Podcast. Jay Sheeds, Daddy Lutz signing off. Daddy Lutz, take him out of here.
Talk to you soon, boys. Adios.
Take care.